Hello, my friends, and welcome to another review. This time, it's about the latest installment of the Warriors series, known only as Hyrule Warriors Legends, otherwise known as Zelda Musou in Japan. Now, about this game, technically, it's The Legend of Zelda with a hint of Dynasty Warriors meshed together. And when you have something like this makes even those who never liked The Legend of Zelda might want to get into it. I, for one, who have somewhat always watched a Zelda Let's Play, tried a Zelda game but never Let's Played it, and yet, for anyone who ever do a Zelda game, be it a walkthrough or a Let's Play, I think for me, it's always been, I never found a Zelda game I could actually get into. This is a Zelda game I can actually get into because it's a Dynasty Warriors game. It's a hack and slash. That means I don't have to worry so much about storyline because, oh, hey, the story somewhat writes itself. Now, without giving away most of what's going on, of course, you are the eternal hero of time, otherwise known as Link and or Linkle. And along with your fellow allies, you must save Hyrule once again from another dark evil. Or another dark entity, rather. And we know Ganon's involved with it because he's always involved with the Triforce. So, I've pretty much put in at least, I'd say, within a good 3-4 hours in just trying it out yesterday. In between, streams, in between stream and all. Um, I have to say, I like it. I like it. This is my kind of Zelda game. You know, and to anybody who has ever played the Zelda series, much respect to you. But to me, I think I have found the Zelda game for me. It's like Resident Evil. I don't like Resident Evil that much, yet if there's a version that I can still get all the story down and understand it without trying to go through everything in Resident Evil, if it's like a rail shooter, that works just as well. I can basically catch up on the story just like that, and it basically writes itself. I don't. Excuse me. As I was saying before that cough came up, um, I don't really have to go into story, play it through, dungeon by dungeon, going from point A to point B. Instead, no, this is the game that basically is like Resident Evil. It's a game within a nutshell. It tells you the story, and you're instantly flung into battle. Now, unlike other Zelda games in which you basically start off as Link, you do get I mean, unlike other Zelda games in which you start off with 3 hearts, which is the base starting point, the default for every Zelda game, you don't start off with You don't start off with 3. I believe you start off with about 7 or 8 hearts. And just like any other Warriors game, you go around the field, wiping out enemy troops, neutralizing areas, and at the same time getting through an ass load of missions, side missions, and main missions. Of course, when you run around killing off mini bosses and whatnot, you do get stuff like materials and little upgrades to your weapons, whether it be extra power or a little something more to your cash flow. It is really the ideal Zelda game for those who just don't want to get into base Zelda, but they want to get into but they want to be part of the series without having to go through your standard traditional Zelda game. It's a lot like with Dragon Quest. They have the new one, which plays out like Dynasty Warriors. And it's like, if you don't want to basically get into the traditional turn-based Dragon Quest games, which I'd say don't start at 1. Start off at a later game, and then you go down to 1. And then it all makes sense. But that's for another story. What can I say about this game other than what I've been saying about it? Well, as far as I've been playing with the characters, of course I've been playing as Link, Impa, Zelda, Sheikah. I haven't played with the mage yet, but I recently, not too long ago, played with Linkle, and Linkle is an akimbo where is a kim. Yeah, let me say that again. Akimbo wielding crossbowman. She wields dual crossbows, but she fires them out like they were freaking akimbos. She's firing freaking akimbos like it was like it was Renaissance of Fate. If you never played that game, like I said, you are. I mean, try that game out. It has a strange combat system, but I'm pretty sure those who know how to play for those who know how to do crossfire shots and whatnot, it's worth it. I mean, I swear she plays like she came out of that game, Resonance of Fate. It's like that's the kind of vibe I got out of her. And I know there are plenty of other characters, as you can see right here, that I haven't even gotten into. They do have packs. They do have a bundle pack. If you have the Wii U version, you can actually get the bundle pack for about $20. If you have the 3DS version, you can get it for about $14. Or if you have both, it's $20 just for a bundle pack. And all you get out of it is a little something from a little bit of everything. You have something from Link's Awakening, Wind Waker, Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass. I don't know if Twilight Princess is part of it, but I'm pretty sure you will see a bit of Twilight Princess involved in this game. Oh, and A Link Between Worlds. I almost forgot about that. Sadly, I don't think they have classic Link from the old Legend of Zelda. Speaking of which, another thing I need to point out is that there are, I believe, four modes. Well, I think it's 3 modes. But after you've beaten like after you've beaten most of the prologue of the game, you do unlock the following. You unlock free mode, which is basically choose anybody you like and choose any stage you want. Then there's adventure mode, which basically kind of plays out like classic Legend of Zelda at the very start, and then then it has this like little board in which you're playing as 8-bit Link. You have 8-bit Link as your icon, and it's like I said, you're on a board, and you basically have to find a way through the entire map, and the map is like the old 8-bit Zelda game, except that you're not playing, classic Legend of Zelda, but you're playing on a board. The music, I have to also say, is spot on. Spot on. I've heard many renditions of the Legend of Zelda theme, but when you have Koei Tecmo, involved in something like this, you basically just pulled off badass. You have basically made an already epic theme song even more epic by turning it into badass. Even with Linkle's theme, which her theme is basically a rendition of classic Link to the Past. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of everything in Linkle's theme. But I can tell you one thing. Her theme is like, it's a love letter to any Zelda player who has ever played a Zelda game. And once you hear a theme, when she gets that momentum, you're gonna feel like, oh yeah, this is the shit. This is my jam. Yeah, let's kick some ass now. That's how it is. That's really how it is. That's that kind of feeling I get. It's like when you hear that piece, it's like Hyrule no Ken. Hyrule no Ken has that one piece that once you actually get through the mission, or you gain that momentum, you hear that theme song, and like, oh yeah, you start stepping in. Once you get that momentum, like, oh, it's on now. So picture the Legend of Zelda theme song as you got that momentum. It's time to finish this battle. You have it, everything. You have everything under control. It's time to finish this thing. It's like everything is just like, okay, what up now? Controls. I like the controls. The controls are actually sweet. The controls in this case is, well, when you start running, you get that momentum, and that's why when you start running, you start chugging along in like a second, like, boom, like you would start running normally, and then you just take off. And that's a cool thing, Not that many Warriors series actually has that sort of thing, especially if it was Dynasty Warriors. Standard Dynasty Warriors, you would have so many characters with different run speeds. Some run a bit dumpy. Some just tend to jog. Some just tend to just rush. Here, with Zelda Musou, momentum. 2 steps, take off. You take off running. The only thing that I'm thinking is different from the Wii U version and the 3DS version, which I have. Um, to my knowledge, I don't think there is a jump. I don't think there's a jump. There's an evade. There's a light attack, power attack, a Musou button, strafe, a strafe guard, and a perspective button. Like ZR or R is basically just that. It's basically that one button that puts everything back in perspective. And oh, the bosses. Oh, I can only say they did a good job with the classic bosses. They actually made them terrifying. They actually made them challenging. They actually make them, more than what you dealt with when you were playing regular Zelda. Like I could say, when you face off against the fire-breathing King Dodongo, and you have just a stream of bombs. All you need to do is, well, if you remember Zelda, all you have to do is wait for him to open his mouth, and he'll start trying to suck something in, namely you. Just throw like one stream of bombs. He will basically eat, tip over, and basically you just beat the hell out of him. But you have to be like really fast and really hit hard because he will get up. It's the same thing with Goma, in which you would have to basically do like what you did in Classic Zelda. Wait for a good time to shoot him in the eye with your bow and arrow, and then just go to town on him. Same thing. A lot of the bosses will sort of be like that. Like I said, the only 2 bosses I ran into so far while I was playing was basically King Dodongo and Goma. Aside from that, like I said, it is basically the Zelda game for me. Because, like I said, to me, I respected the game. I played one game. Okay, I played a few games. The only games I ever played throughout the entirety of the series well, actually I got 4. Link to the Past, Adventure Link. I did play the original Zelda before. Well, actually, there's there's Adventure Link, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Minish Cap, and Skyward Sword. Those are the only 5 Zelda games I've ever played in my life. But I never did beat because for some reason, it just goes, it's a feeling. It's like with Pokemon, and I got to be in a certain mood to play it. But with Zelda Musou or Hyrule Warriors Legends, I'll just call it Zelda Musou. With Zelda Musou, I found that balance. I found that this is the Zelda game for me. It won't basically just bore me. It won't lose my interest. It's something that basically like gets me just like that. Because for me, I had to have something that would get me like within 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Like when I first press start, or any button just to start the game off, and it gets me right in there. That's all I want. That's how you get me right there. It's like, okay, boom. Okay. We got something. All right. All right. Let's do this. So, like I said, yesterday was a day when the game came out, and thank God I pre-ordered because had I not pre-ordered, I would not have gotten the little bonus. And the little bonus that they gave me from GameStop is a character book. I think that's about it. They didn't. That's the only thing I got out of it. But everything else is like, oh, you had to buy the pack in order to get everything else. It's like with Project Cross Zone 2. It's the same thing. You basically get the only thing you get out of it is a downloadable code just to get a free theme for it. So I did get my free theme for it. My you know for my DS, for my 3DS. So that's all well and good. There was the When I was there was the guide, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't want the guide. It's a fighting game. It's a hack and slash. Since when did I ever need a guide for a hack and slash? But you never know, you know. There are some things you don't know, some things you need to know. It's like with a couple of things I have, but you know, never really take interest. Strategy guides are one of the things I take interest, but it's like I could just skim through it. Whatever that they don't tell you in game, they tell you in the strategy guide. You know how it is. But what I can say is that this game is worth it. This game is totally worth getting if you hadn't gotten it already. Whether you have a 3DS or a Wii U, it is worth getting for yourself because if you're into hack and slash, you're in for a treat. Because the Warriors games have always been nothing but a treat. And especially with how the latest Warrior games have been chilling out, with Dragon Quest, One Piece, and Legend of Zelda being the most recent one, I'd say it's a pretty damn good job. And really, you know, more amalgamation should actually come out like that, you know? Make something that was already good even better. So that's all I'd say. There's nothing but great accolades coming from me about this game. I'm pretty much going to play a bit more. Not right now. But in my spare time, I will indeed do more I will indeed play some more Zelda Musou during my free time. So yeah, that's how I honestly think about Hyrule Warriors Legends. It is a game worth getting if you're either a Zelda fan, a Dynasty Warriors fan, or you just like hack and slash. So with that, that'll be it for this edition of the Izzy Reviews. So next time, whatever I feel like sharing as a review, I will indeed share it. Because whether it's a game, movie, or anything else, it's worth. It's worth time. It's worth the energy. It is worth everything that I deem fit about sharing to you guys. So that I'd like to thank you for listening, if not watching, and leave a comment in the video if you still feel you should do so. And follow me on social media through Twitter and Facebook. They're both PookieIzzy7. They're both my accounts. So if you want to, feel free to. Also, do not forget, if you want to follow more about what I got on my channel, do subscribe on my channel, which is PookieIzzy7. And with that, stay tuned for more videos. So with that, take care, God bless, have a great rest of the month, and I'll see you next time with more videos. Until then, take care, God bless, Senpai's blessings upon you, and Tenkai Musou.